So today is Sunday, the 21st of November. I've just finished doing like a wee 2 hour stream. That's the first one that I've done since all of this has happened. Um, I still feel like cry and stuff, but I've also been taking diazepam today, which does definitely give me relief from the constant crying. I'm trying now my best to just think positive. There's no point in thinking of, and I know that everybody tells you, don't think of the what ifs, just don't think of it. It's easier said than done, you know? I am trying to just keep in my head what is the sense in worrying about the worst case outcomes until they happen. I'm alive now, I'm breathing now, I'm sore and stuff, which is a combination of having my second COVID injection and also the biopsies and stuff being taken, starting to get weird pains going up into my armpit. It wasn't from the lymph node biopsy, that was like a really wee fine needle that they put in, so I actually didn't even really notice it whenever they were doing it, which is good. But the biopsies, they basically, I probably have explained this before, but they cut a hole in the side of my boob and went in sideways. And the first one that they took, I felt, it wasn't the biopsy that I felt, but whenever they took it, I felt like a shooting pain going up into my armpit. It's obviously a nerve or something, so I'm starting to get pain there going from my boob up into my armpit. But I need to try and like just think positive. Like, news could go either way, obviously, but sitting freaking out and worrying about it all the time is not going to help me any. I'm still a million different emotions every single second. But I'll just keep on taking the tablets because what I need to do is just not be stressed. Obviously, diazepam is like a really fucking heavy kind of drug, but I'm needing it. Whenever I don't take it, I'm in floods of tears. Apart from like last Monday, the day I found out, last night was the worst for me so far. Um, I think I'd already told you that I went out for a walk and then on my way back I just burst into floods of tears and I just couldn't stop. I was inconsolable last night. But there's just, what is the point in this? I have to try and think positive. I have to. Because the alternative is not great. Um, I didn't stream obviously for very long. It was only just a couple of hours. And I don't know when I'm going to be streaming and for how long. And I just need to play everything by ear because from minute to minute I feel different. And I'm not going to be sitting ever crying on stream. It's one thing making these vlogs and stuff because I want to keep things as real as I possibly can, but I'm not going to sit like crying and stuff like that on stream. I don't need to. I'll do small streams and try and build them up and just until I find out obviously what treatment and stuff like that I'm gonna need. I'm gonna, regardless, even if I'm not streaming, I'll still be making these vlogs. They'll still be going out every single Sunday at 6 o'clock. I'll schedule them for UK time and just take you along with me. Chris and I were talking last night, and it's almost a week since I've been diagnosed, and it feels like to both of us it only happened yesterday. Like this, it is so strange that an entire week has passed. I'm just hoping that this week goes just as quick because this should be that sometime this week is whenever I'll hear back from the doctors. The pathology results will be back to sort of know what we're dealing with. Um, I don't know whether they're going to want to do like different scans and stuff to check through my body to make sure it hasn't spread anywhere in there. But from the booklet, I don't even I think it's still downstairs. They told me to read it, but last night honestly was the first time that I'd read it. I hadn't my mind right to be like reading. Not even just that. I'm talking about anything, reading anything was an impossibility. I just my brain wasn't holding on to thoughts. Never mind information and input I'm trying to put into it. So Um, from what the doctor had said and from reading that, and I know that it's a case by case thing. I don't know anything yet, neither do the doctors and stuff. But the doctor did mention like surgery and taking out lymph nodes and like a possible mastectomy. That's whenever they take your whole boob off. I do not care. I know that like a lot of women, and they have every right to, don't want that to happen. They don't want their boobs taken off. Get them off. Take them off. If it's going to save my life, get them off. Don't care. Couldn't care less. Um, with chemotherapy and all that kind of stuff, if I lose all my hair, do not care. Don't. Everything to me at the minute is, if it's going to make me have a better chance of not dying, I don't care what it is I have to do. I'll do it. Um, I stupidly, another thing that had set me off last night, I thought I'm gonna join some support groups on Facebook. Shouldn't have fucking done that. Because reading through different things that other women were saying, and no one is putting these posts out to like worry anyone. They're just talking about their own experiences and stuff. But it just had me in floods of tears. And that for chemotherapy they need to put a port into you, and that can be quite a painful procedure. And I'm just like, everything is just stacking up to be a fucking like a nightmare. But if it's gonna make me survive, then I'll do it without question. I do not care. I don't care. Dying is not a fucking option for me. I don't care how much pain, sickness, what kind of traumas I have to go through here. If it ends up with me being alive at the end, then it's worth it. And that's just the way that I'm looking at it. There's always still that nagging feeling in the back of my brain that maybe it's not treatable, and maybe it's just too late. But I can't, I have to keep ignoring that. If you watch my Twitch channel, you will know, because I say it all the time, but it's always in reference to hangovers. How adults cope is denial, and that's what I need to put myself into right now. I need to be in not denial of the situation, but in denial of all the bad things that could happen. Like the really bad things. I'm not talking about hair and boobs and treatment and all that kind of stuff. That's not bad stuff. I'm talking about the really bad stuff that could happen. That's what I need to put myself in denial of. I'm I'm really dependent on those tablets that the doctor gave me at the minute. That's why I'm able to sit here without crying. That's why I was able to stream earlier on. They just numb me out enough to not give a shit and to keep me calm, because stress I know is not going to do my body any good at the minute. So I'm trying my best. Drinking loads of herbal tea. Not that that's doing anything, but it tastes nice. Apart from this stuff Chris bought me, it's like immune stuff. It has a nice flavour, but the aftertaste leaves a lot to be desired. I will get back to myself, because if I'm not dead in the fucking ground, then I will get back to myself. But I also need to be very easy on myself at the minute. It's only a week tomorrow. I found this news out. It's just going to take a while to sink in. I think it actually hit me quite hard, as I said earlier last night. But there's nothing more I can say. Again, it's just, the whole vlog is just a daily thing for me to get thoughts and feelings out, and maybe help other people that are in the same position that also feel the way that I felt recently. It's like, how are people so strong? Get this news, because I've been such a wimp, but maybe this is how it is for everyone, but everyone's doing it behind closed doors. I don't know. I just don't want anyone ever to feel on their own. And it's also therapy for me as well to say these things. So hopefully, maybe tomorrow, I doubt it, but maybe tomorrow I might hear something back. Hopefully it'll be this week. They said 7 to 10 days last Monday. So I'm hoping even 10 days would be Friday if they're going working days, you know. So hopefully I'll hear something and I can get this ball rolling. Is it just the not knowing, but also the sitting waiting, knowing that there's something in you that's fucking designed to fuck you up massively, and you're not doing anything about it? That's hard. It's like the most extreme ants in your pants syndrome, where you're so fucking restless you just want to get on with it. Just get it moving. Come on, let's get stuff done. But for now, I'm all right. I can't say what I'm gonna be like half an hour from now. Can't say what I'm gonna be like tomorrow. I don't know, but for now, I'm all right. I'm trying to stay positive, and that is Sunday's vlog. I shall obviously see you with a screen fade into tomorrow's, but until then, thank you very much for watching, and keep praying and sending positive vibes. I really, really appreciate it. So today is Tuesday the 23rd of November. I didn't end up making a video yesterday just because I didn't really have that much to say. I think I said in the last video that Saturday night was horrendous. I had a really bad night. Like, I cried my eyes out. I had all sorts of horrendous thoughts. Sunday and yesterday I didn't cry at all. Which is a good thing. It's not like I'm trying to hold it in or anything like that. I haven't. Again, that could be down to the doctor prescribing diazepam, and I was taking them, and they have been giving me relief. They give me that sort of I don't really give a fuck kind of frame of mind. Today though, I haven't taken any of them. I was talking to my dad, and he was saying to me that out of everybody he knows, I have the strongest will, that I've always done what I wanted, and whatever I want to do, nothing's ever held me back, which as a teenager I must have been a nightmare of a child, an absolute nightmare. I've always been a rebel. I don't do well with authority. If someone tells me that I can't do something, you fucking better believe that's not the way that it's gonna go. And I'm gonna be defiant. I'm gonna be really defiant. I'm trying again. The duality of thoughts and emotions that I have at the minute are just constant. So on one hand, I'm like, there's no way this is gonna do me any harm. I am fighting this, and then in the second, like the second breath, I'm like, oh my god, this could be all through me and I'm dying. It's just constant back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I'm just trying at the minute to force myself into not so much denial, but just ignoring the negative thoughts. And it's hard. Don't like it's not really working very well. But for the short time that it does work, it's worth putting in the effort for. And by the way, I swear to God, I'm not a tramp. I do like I've fresh pajamas on every day. I'm just always in my dressing gown. The bed is never made now. I couldn't be arsed, man. I'm finding it really hard to just get the will to get up and do anything. I joined on Saturday night some different support groups on Facebook. I don't think that helped me very much on Saturday night, because I started reading some stuff, and it wasn't that any of the stuff that I was reading was scaring me, but it was making things very, very real for me. And then it all sunk in, and it was just a mess. As I said, I was just constantly crying. The support I've posted I posted a link to my YouTube on those different support groups, just for the other girls out there who are dealing with this, because everybody's terrified. That's the one thing that I have got from this. I thought I was just such a fucking weakling. Like, I was the weakest person alive, and that there's been cancer diagnosis in our family Chris's dad passed away 3 years ago on the 21st of September. Um, like just after his dad had passed away, my mum was diagnosed with lung cancer. And it just seems like everybody holds their shit together so much better than I have because I've just been an absolute wreck. But being on those support groups and just reading the different stories and concerns of all the different women that are going through the same thing, I'm realizing it's totally normal to be terrified. You would be a fucking robot not to be. Um, I'm trying at the minute to steer away from reading too much into these groups because not that they won't help or anything, but I'm in this limbo right now of not knowing how bad things are, you know? I'll not know until this week if it this right. I'm sorry while I try and gather my thoughts here. I've previously said Chris and I were speaking on Saturday and it was like, you know, it's almost a week since I got this diagnosis and it doesn't feel like it. It feels like he felt even like it was just the day before we'd heard it. The whole week had flown by. I'm hoping this week goes the same. But when you're waiting on stuff like this, it just drags. There's no, I'm trying my best to keep the train of thought that what is the point in stressing myself out and thinking the very worst and then find out that it's not as bad as I was thinking it was. Obviously bad, it's fucking cancer. It's never, you know, like a hoot. It's never a great time. I already know that it's cancer. But if it's not the worst case scenario that I have been playing over and over in my head, then I have caused myself all this stress for nothing. And that's not good for me. I had planned, like, because of the stress of all this, like, usually you guys already know if I was ever having a drink, I would have had a wee smoke, like cigarettes, along with it. Then from going to the GP originally with, you know, this lump and the terminology that she used about red flags and sizable mass and everything, I just started smoking again. I was so stressed. As soon as I found out about having cancer last Monday, well, not yesterday, but the previous Monday, I must have smoked 60 cigarettes in the space of 2 days. And I was like, right, I can't do this anymore. I just have to cut all of it out. I can't do it. That probably did not help me at all. So now I'm not smoking cigarettes at all. Like I haven't for since Wednesday, I think. Wednesday or Thursday, I haven't smoked any cigarettes. I'd stopped smoking any or vaping any nicotine or anything. And I think that actually added in to me having a complete and utter like a breakdown on Saturday. I just I was just a mess. So now I'm vaping nicotine, but a low amount, and I'm gonna cut it down slowly because I'm weighing things up in my head. What is worse for me right now? Vaping will it's not good obviously, but it's way better than smoking. Smoking has so many bad chemicals and stuff in cigarettes. It's crazy. So what is going to be worse for me now? Having a very low dose of nicotine in my vape juice that's going to keep me level and not make me lose it, or else just cut it all out and end up just a complete wreck and stress to the hilt. So that's what I'm doing for me right now. Um, and I make my own vape juice, as a lot of you guys know, because people ask me whenever I'm streaming. Um, I have got, I've only got a mil of nicotine in a 100 ml bottle, and then I'll cut that down to a half, then a quarter, and then to nothing. And hopefully that'll just wean me off it as I come to terms with the diagnosis and everything else that's going on. Like I was a smoker for years, like years. And I had to stop. Like, originally, that's why I stopped smoking altogether and started vaping, was because of my stomach condition and needing like open surgery. And the doctors tell me how, serious me smoking was. I mightn't pull through the operation and blah, blah, blah. So that's why I switched on, and it still wasn't good enough for them anyway. But I'm doing what I can at the minute, and I'm not putting more pressure on myself, because the more pressure and stress I put on myself, the worse it's going to be for my body. I will wean myself off. Um, I'm not feeling positive, not by any stretch of the imagination. I'm trying not to feel negative. I'm trying not to think about things too much. I keep getting messages daily, and I'm so appreciative. I am. I really am. People taking time out of their day to message me, and it does choke me up a bit, but it's nice to know that people care. But yeah, so I'm not crying and everything as much. I know that I don't know how good viewing this is. It's helping me to talk, and it's helping me to get everything out without having to go over things like a million times to like everybody individually. It's just easier to do it all at once. And I think I've got so many questions as well. I'm keeping a list of questions to ask the doctors whenever I meet up with them again once these biopsy results come back. I have to keep my phone on me at all times, because they're doing everything. Like, they'll phone me. There's no letters being sent out. We don't have that kind of time, especially with Royal Mail, considering they deliver once every 6 months around this area. Crazy with the post around here. But I have a whole load of like questions, everything that pops into my head, so that whenever I do see them, I can ask them. But again, just please, prayers and positive vibes, please. Just keep sending them my way, because it really is important, and it's what's holding me up at the minute. Um, as for streaming, I will. I'm I was thinking last night, I'm hoping to get back to normal next week, but depending on what this week holds, I don't know. But I will be streaming for a while here, there, whenever I'm feeling up to it. I'm not going to be on for like my usual times, because I just don't have the concentration for it. It's hard to concentrate in anything. Like, as you can probably tell from these videos, I'm all over the place, even speaking. It's because my mind is just going in 17 million directions at once. Playing games and stuff is a great outlet and comfort, as all gamers will tell you. It really does take your mind off things. But at the minute, my mind is so muddled that I can't take my mind off it, because it's a create. And unless you're going through or have been through what I'm dealing with, you won't understand. Like, it's not the same as whenever someone dies. It's a great shock, and you've grief and everything. It's not like that. It's nearly like grieving for yourself, or the what ifs. It's so hard to explain. It's like nothing I've ever experienced before in my entire life. And I hope that I never have to experience it ever again. And I hope that we get the best case scenario. But you know what? We'll deal with each hurdle as it comes. Because at the minute, it's hard enough to put one foot in front of the other than try and run this marathon daily in my own head. So that's today's thoughts. And maybe tomorrow will be different. Maybe tomorrow I'll be a mess again. Maybe I won't. Maybe this will be the start of me starting to pull myself together. Maybe it won't. I don't know, but I'm not putting any pressure on myself, because I don't know how you're meant to deal with this. No one does. You know? It's so strange. Like people that get diagnosed with cancer, you don't even know how to deal with it yourself at all. You know, it's the strangest thing. The strangest thing. But those are today's thoughts, regardless. And tomorrow I will more than likely be back with more. And again, positive thoughts my way, prayers my way, and thank you for listening to the utterings of someone that is semi insane at the minute. But and you never know. The next part of this vlog, I might even be wearing clothes and brush my hair, you know. But until then, we'll see. Keep praying. Love you all. Thank you for watching. So today is Wednesday, the 24th of November, and I'm feeling alright. Haven't taken any of the diazepam since Monday, and I haven't had like a proper like crying fit since Saturday, so that's good. What I have been doing is like ordering a whole load of things that I'll need because I'm positive. Like, I know it maybe doesn't seem positive, but I'm hoping and trying to stay positive that I'll be in hospital and being operated on to get this crap out of my body. So I've been ordering loads of just stuff. I've ordered like a whole load of new pajamas. Not that I needed them, but I feel like, you know what? I'm gonna get myself some new pajamas and slippers and stuff. And I bought a whole load of like new toiletries and stuff like that. So I bought some really nice shower gel and body cream from Sol de Janeiro. I bought some skincare that's gentle from Glow Recipe, and then I also bought like a set from Briogeo. Just like not even thinking at the time, is it really going to matter how much I take care of my hair if it falls out if I'm getting chemo? But if I'm going to be in hospital, being operated on prior to chemo, I still don't know. I still haven't heard anything back from the doctors, the hospital, or anything yet about the biopsies. But I'm like, you know what? If I have to go in there and I'm going to be dealing with this, I'm going to treat myself to some nice stuff to use while I'm there. So I've done all that. I like packed up my wee toiletry bag. There's no point in packing the other bag because it's easier to keep everything folded and put away rather than having a hospital bag sitting waiting and ready whenever I don't even know whenever that time's gonna come, you know. I have every message and stuff that you guys have left on my videos so far. I've read, and they've again meant so much to me. I'm trying my best now at this point to just not think about it. And whenever I do sort of catch myself starting to spiral into thoughts, I just think of anything else. I'm trying to trying to look at things in a funny or sort of positive way. I was saying to Chris last night, I was like, well, you know, the good thing, if I get chemo and all my hair falls out, I'll not have to shave then. It will be great. And he's like, well, it doesn't all come out at once, it'll go patchy. And I'm like, do you really need to piss on my parade right now? So I was trying to think that way. Then like such a good friend of Chris and I's, one of like our best mates, Scott. He's been messaging back and forward, and I'd sent him a photo of just, you know, what my boob looked like after. You can't see any nipple or anything like that. It was just, you know, the scar and all the bruising and stuff that was happening. And he was like, oh, I'd said to him, obviously, his fiance Helen, I'm like, I hope she doesn't mind me sending you like titty pics. And he's like, Alana, you wouldn't know if that was a boob or a knee. And I'm like, really, Scott? You have to kick a girl when she's down? So then he then sent me back a picture of his own boob, and he's like, now we're even. That like made me laugh. I'm trying my hardest right now to not worry and to not think about stuff, because what good's it gonna do me? It's hard not for your mind not to spiral in situations like this, to immediately think worst case scenario. But what happens if it's not as bad as what I've already had myself dead and buried a million times. What happens if it's not that bad? Then I've put all this extra stress on my body at the worst possible time when there was no need, you know? So it's just a waiting game. I was hoping that I would have heard something back by now, but they did say that it was 7 to 10 days after the biopsy. That happened on the 15th, so a week passed there on Monday. Um, I don't know whether that's working days. I would presume it's working days, so hopefully it'll be no later than next Monday. That I hear something back. I'm worried now over, like, I've joined support groups and stuff like that on Facebook, and it's heartbreaking to see all these women dealing with this fucking horrendous disease. It really is, but there's also hope. I need to ask because I'm frightened that if they phone me and tell me to come in, does that mean it's bad news, or do they just need to see me to tell me and discuss with me anyway? You know? That's what a worry is. I'm presuming regardless, Chris had said regardless, they're going to tell you to come in anyway because they're going to want to speak to you face to face. Again, have to stop thinking that way because it'll just make me spiral out of control. But it has, like, over the last couple of days, it has felt like Christmas around here with the amount of, like, packages arriving to the door. And for once, Chris isn't shouting at me about ordering too much. Because I have been ordering stuff in preparation for what may lie ahead. As I've said, I'm planning to, like, document this entire journey the whole way through. So even if I'm in hospital, I'll still be making videos. I'll take my laptop, webcam, and mic, and I'll still be making videos the whole way through. Just to keep everybody up to date, informed, and to show people that may be going through the same thing what to expect the whole way through. Last night I couldn't really sleep very well. It's the first night since all of this has happened that I haven't been able to sleep, and I think the reason I have been able to sleep, well, obviously there was diazepam in the mix, but I think it was just from so many emotions through the day. I was just so exhausted by the time that, like, nighttime came. I was just knocked out cold. I was tired. Last night I couldn't really sleep very well. I was getting chest pain. Like, I'd convinced myself as well. Again, like, you guys are going to think I'm a complete hypochondriac at this point, but I was getting chest pains right across my chest, and I was convinced it was like a heart attack or something happening. It was so sore. Chris seems to think that we're all coming down with chest infections at the minute, because we're all coughing. My chest or nothing sore now. It was just last night. It was very tight. I don't know what it was. Could be a chest infection. Could be anxiety. I don't know why anxiety would have hit me then, because I wasn't sitting worrying last night. I just couldn't sleep. And then all the tightness started. I'm like, well, I thought the cancer was going to take me out, but apparently it's a heart attack. But obviously it went away and I did get to sleep. That's about all for today, I think. I'm still, like, I haven't cried. I would sort of say I had a bit of a mental breakdown on Saturday night. I was bad, but since then I haven't really cried that much. I read the odd comment or message that I get, and I do, like, tears come from my eyes, but I'm not sitting, crying heavy or anything like that. So everything, every wee tiny step each day is at least something. Yes, I still haven't got dressed. I'm still in, like, pajamas and dressing gown and all the rest of it. But today the bed's made. I got up and I made the bed. I tidied around this room. I'd ordered some clothes and stuff like that. Some of them need to go back, so I got all that parceled up and ready to go. And again, if I can get through days without crying, then at least it's a positive sort of, even if it's a baby step, it's a step, you know. And this is a long, long journey ahead of me. I hope it is. God, please, God, let it be, you know, rather than worst case scenario comes up and I don't really have that long. I would prefer nice long journey with, not death at the end of it. Um so every small step forward is positive for me at the minute, and I'm not going to be hard on myself, and I'm not going to force myself. Like every night I lie, like before I go to sleep, I'm sitting thinking, tomorrow, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get up, I'm going to put some makeup on, I'm going to actually try and stream properly. um I'm going to nip round to the shop, and then whenever I wake up, I'm just grateful that I've got myself out of bed, and the rest of it doesn't matter. So I know I can't live this way forever. I'm going to have to start pushing myself to try and get back into some kind of a normal routine. But at the minute, if I get out of bed every day and don't sit worrying and crying, then that's a win for that day, you know? Right? So that is today's thoughts. Again, I appreciate all the comments and everything, all the positive vibes, all the prayers that you guys send, because I can feel it. I can honestly feel it, and it means the world to me. So I shall catch you guys tomorrow, and until then, be safe and take care of yourselves, and I will be doing the same. I'll be trying my very best. So today is Thursday the 25th of November. Today I'm having like a lot of panic setting in. I thought it was almost too easy, things starting to get better. I haven't cried or anything like that. I don't know whether I'm getting like some kind of chest infection or what's going on, but I can't stop coughing, and I have serious tightness and pain the whole way across my chest. And then last night I was getting a lot of pain going through my right hip, and that pain in my hip, like, as most of you guys know that watch the streams and stuff, I've been complaining about it for ages now. I'd even been to hospital at one point with it. The pain that goes through my hip and then down my leg, and the doctors in hospital and stuff thought it was more than likely sciatica. Now I'm like, well, if there's cancer in my lymph nodes, you've lymph nodes in your groin, is this what's causing that pain? So my mind has been going like a million miles a minute, like thinking about what it is that's wrong. I've had pain in my back, like basically the opposite side of this boob in my back, in like a circular area. And it's not like stabbing pain or anything like that. It's like really heavy cramping pain. Now that had been happening, not constant, but on and off probably for about a month and a half now. But again, I've this, I don't know if it's a chest infection. I don't think it's pain due to the biopsies and stuff that were taken out of my chest. I have been coughing like crazy. I know that it's not COVID. Everyone in the house had COVID not that long ago. I don't know whether it's side effects from having my second COVID jab. I had it on Saturday past there. But the pain thing in my hip is just worrying me. Because of obviously like lymph nodes and stuff like that. And it hasn't started travelling down my leg though this time. Before it had been, and the pain that I felt with it, it's the hardest kind of pain to describe, but it nearly feels like it's radiating out from my bones in my leg. That hasn't happened, but I have had that sort of pain going through like my groin and hip area last night. So obviously I'm concerned. I've taken a note of it. I've got like a long list of things, anything that's popping into my head. So the doctor did say, whenever I was at the hospital and I was diagnosed, to write everything down, so that the next time that I see them, because your brain's all over the place. Obviously, it's like really tragic baby brain. If you've ever had a baby, then you'll know what I mean. by saying that whenever your hormones are all over the place after you've had a baby, you're not thinking straight, your mind's all over the place. Well, it's like that, only instead of having a lovely wee baby to celebrate at the end of it, I have cancer, which is a fucking shitter. Um, so he told me to write down all my questions. So as things come to my mind, I'm just putting them into my phone so that whenever I do meet up with him again, I have a list of everything. So that's obviously something that I've put on my list. Because it needs checked out regardless. I'm trying to keep myself, again, I'm flip flopping, but I'm trying to keep myself positive. Um, Again, as a lot of you guys that watch my stream know, because I've spoke about it many times, like before I knew about this cancer or anything, my doctor, my GP already thought it was a medical mystery because I have had shingles 8 times. He has never in his career heard of anybody that's ever had shingles that amount of times. Um, they done like a full blood work just to check for anything underlying, probably about a year ago, and obviously nothing came back. One of my levels was slightly raised. I can't remember which one it was. Then they asked me to come back. I think it was a week or 2 weeks later to do it again, and everything seemed fine. So I'm trying to hold on to that. That would they have tested for cancer in that full screen? This lump has been here for ages. It's been here since I went to the doctor originally about it in 2019. They checked me out, told me that if it hadn't gone away in a month, to ring and they would refer me to the breast clinic, which I did. Referral never came through, then the pandemic hit, and I thought, well, I'm not going to get seen anyway. So fucking stupid of me. And that's why it's taken so long, but I'm thinking, I'm trying to hold on to that. Like, would they have seen something while doing that screening to see, why I kept getting shingles so much? Surely it would have popped up there. I know that in younger women, these cancers kind of spread like wildfire because of estrogen. And one of the questions that the doctor and the Macmillan nurse asked was whether I was on the pill, and I wasn't. I've been on the pill for years. But every year I would always come off it for a couple of months, not to try and get pregnant or anything like that, but just to give my body a break. Because if you're putting medication into it all of the time, then I just think I believe your body needs a break every now and again. But it was either a year or 2 years ago I just stopped taking it completely and didn't go back to it. I don't know why. Again, I wasn't trying to get pregnant or anything like that. Chris and I wanted to want to buy a house and everything. And it was either one or the other. We either buy a house or have a baby, but you can't have fucking both because we just couldn't stretch ourselves that much financially. But I wasn't trying to get pregnant, nothing like that. Maybe it was God's hand there, that gave me the push to just stop taking the pill. So thank God for that anyway, because those extra hormones in my body wouldn't have done me any favours right now. They only would have made matters worse. So I'm panicking. I'm like a panicky mess. I'm jittery and stuff. I'm not taking diazepam again. I still haven't taken it since the last time that I told you guys that I hadn't. I still have a load of them here, but I'm trying to not take them. I don't want to rely on that as a crutch. Like, they're addictive, you know what I mean? And at some point I'm gonna need to like just face reality anyway and deal with it by myself. It's so hard though that every ache and pain, I'm not immediately thinking, well, that's it. That's where it's spread to. Um I have had like actual pain from the biopsies and stuff. I can feel it like going through my boob and up into my armpit a wee bit. I think that's completely normal though. That's just my body trying to heal inside from, being skewered. um it's weird though. I thought, like once the anesthetic had worn off, then it would start to get sore and then it would, ease back. But it seems like after the anesthetic wore off, it was sore. Then it was fine the next day and the day after that. And then every day after, it progressively got sorer, which is weird. I've tried feeling to see whether I can still feel the lump, but I think I'm a bit swollen inside. Everything in there feels quite hard at the minute. But yeah, I'm just now like the panic ridden stage of every slight tingle, ache. I'm like, well, that's it then. That's where it's moved, and I know that I shouldn't be thinking that way, but again, it's hard to not let yourself fall down that rabbit hole. I'm still not dressed. That's what I'm not. I'm still not dressed. Batman pajamas today. um, and I don't plan on getting dressed today either. I'm gonna wash my hair though later because it's all going like fuzzy. It's not dirty, dirty. Don't get me wrong. It definitely but I don't need to wash it, but I'm gonna wash it. Um, I'm gonna have to phone the doctor tomorrow if the pain in my chest and the tightness and stuff doesn't go away, just in case I need antibiotics for like a chest infection or whatever. Um, but that'll be for tomorrow. I just don't want to be one of those people that's phoning the doctor constantly, like every other day. Oh, this is wrong with me. Oh, help me. They did, like, my GP is lovely. They did say anything at all, just to phone, and they would speak to me straight away. But I'm trying to be mindful that I'm not the only one that is dealing with this, and I'm sure there are plenty of other people that are patients in that surgery that have their own nightmare going on right now. So I don't want to like be constantly ringing the doctor and stuff, but I do think that if it does feel it's tightness and it feels like something's blocked. So I know that sounds strange. It nearly feels like if you get a chunk of food stuck in your throat and you're trying to swallow, the way you can feel like something's blocked, only it feels like that here in my chest. And like tightness across all of my chest. And again, I've been coughing and stuff like that, so I'm just thinking it's probably just a chest infection or something like that. But I'm gonna get myself ready to stream. I'm gonna do a wee stream today, and hopefully just forget about it for a while. Again, please, if you believe in God, please pray for me. If you don't believe in God, then just please send all your positive vibes my way. And again, thank you for your time, for sitting and listening and watching me. This is helping me so much, sitting speaking, but hopefully it'll help others out there as well. I've said that a million times, but that's the whole reason for doing this, is just to let other women know that they're not alone. You're on a fucking roller coaster. Expect the ups and downs, the ins and outs, and you're not alone. You're not alone. Right, until tomorrow, that is today's thoughts and whatnot, but until tomorrow, take care, and I will see you then. Right, today is Friday the 26th of November, and I had my call back to the hospital this morning at 11:15. So what I found out was this: the tumor is 2 centimeters long. They've seen it in the cancer in 2 of my lymph nodes. 2 of them are looking quite dodgy. I was told that it was grade 1. Grades and stages are different. Grades are how quickly it's growing, and stages are obviously, from if you're going to live to terminal cancer. So grade 1's good. Means it's slow growing. Said usually with grade 1 it'll not spread, but it already has spread into my lymph nodes. I have to have now, the going forward, I need to have an MRI and a CT scan. Because I'm young, my breast tissue is very dense, so there was only so much that they could see in the mammogram and ultrasound tests. So that's why they want to do these scans. I'd also told them about the pain and stuff that I was feeling in my hip, and this isn't something new. Like, it's not, some it's not like something I've just suddenly connected. I've been complaining of this pain for, God, months and months, maybe about 8 months at this time. Um, they said that the scans will show whether, if it's spread there, but not to worry because it's easy to put it down to cancer once you get a diagnosis like this. You think that every ache and pain, but again, this pain has been there for so long, but I'm not worrying about it. They said, so it's grade 1. They said that it's positive for both progesterone and estrogen hormones, and apparently that's a good thing. Um, it's more treatable if it's positive for those things. So they're doing these scans anyway. It'll obviously see whether it's spread or anything, but they want to do it because depending on like how big what they've measured from the mammogram and the ultrasound was 2 centimeters, but because again my breast tissue is so dense because I'm younger, they can't be sure, so they need to do these scans to see the actual size, make sure it hasn't spread. Then they decide what they're doing from there. If it's larger, then they'll obviously go for chemotherapy first to try and shrink it down so that they have to take less away. And if it's like smaller, then they'll go for the surgery first and then chemotherapy afterwards. So I don't know. They said that it's another couple of weeks of waiting. Basically, they said that they do the MRIs on Wednesdays normally. They'll try and get me in next Wednesday, but if not, it could be the Wednesday after. And then it's up in the air for the CT. Oh, like, so that's what I know so far. Now I just have to worry about it spreading. I'm concerned about my hip and the pains I'm having there and going across the bottom of my back. The blood samples that they took on the day that I was diagnosed, that's to, just do like a full screen in case you need to have surgery. They need to make sure your kidney function and all that kind of stuff is fine. Everything there come back fine, so I'm healthy enough for surgery. And that's where I am so far. It could have been like today could have been a horror show. I could have went in and found out, like how aggressive and all and everything it is, but it seems to be the best case scenario. Well, for my situation, that it could be. They're looking at curable measures, but if it has spread anywhere, it'll be treatable measures. That's basically what I know. Obviously I've put up on my socials and stuff that I'm putting this weekly vlog out early. It'll be going up today. As soon as I make this video, I'll be putting it together and firing it up. I just wanted to get the news out there quickly to everyone because, again, it's not... I love everyone and everyone that has been sent me all these positive vibes and checking in with me daily. It means the world, but to go, like, keep typing it out, copy and pasting, sending it just takes forever and I don't have it in me at the minute. I actually feel like I'm about to throw up, to be quite honest with you. I feel still concerned, but knowing that it's grade 1 from what they can tell is a good thing, could have been so much worse. Still there's a lot of like stuff flying around my head and all the rest of it. It's still like, don't get me wrong, like this news isn't, oh well, that's good, you know what I mean? Still like a big battle lying in front of me. I'm still gonna have to have an awful lot of treatment, surgery, chemo, all of that kind of stuff. If it has spread, then that's a different matter. It's, the doctor said, like, if it has spread, it's still not a death sentence and not to worry. Because there is stuff that they can do. So please, again, keep praying. Please keep praying and keep sending positive vibes to me. They're working so far. Today could have, like the news I got today, could have been so much worse than what it was. So that's good. Now I just have to wait on like these scans and a treatment plan. Ideally, what would have been best was I just got a treatment plan today, but again, they're wanting to, cover all bases and everything, which is a good thing. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, so basically that's it. I felt very like, I don't know how I feel again. Again, I'm pleased that, it's grade 1 rather than 3. Grade 3 is the worst you can get. There was another test as well, that hasn't actually come back yet. I can't remember what it was. It was the H something or other 2 test. The results for that haven't come back yet. I only have the hormone ones back. And that is a positive thing, apparently, that it's positive for both hormones. I just wish things would get moving quicker. They told me as well that with the scans and everything else, that everything, I'm already a priority patient. So everything will be done as fast as possible. But that's it. That's as much as I know at the minute. Still no makeup, but I do have clothes on, so there's something. But obviously you can't go out in pyjamas because that is apparently frowned upon by society. As a friend of mine, Hunty, would say, jammy tramp. So, yeah, that's where we are so far. Still don't like the idea of having like a 2 centimeter tumor in my boob that is trying to fucking kill me. I don't like the idea that 2 of my lymph nodes are fucked. But hopefully that's the extent of it. Hopefully that's it. But we don't know. But again, I'll be keeping these video diaries constant unless I'm having a day where I'm really just feeling alright and have nothing to say. But I just wanted to make sure that everyone got informed as soon as possible. And that's it for today. Gonna put this video together, get it out, and please like comment and like and share and stuff like that, because if you do that, then it pushes it out to other people, and it could get to people that need to see this kind of thing, to see, they know that they're not on their own. There are other people going through the exact same thing, and that all that their emotions and feelings and everything are valid, and they're not weak as I've been feeling constantly. Alright, thank you, and I will catch you again next week then. It'll probably just be next Sunday. Again, I'm only putting this one out early because of the news that I got today, but Sundays 6 o'clock will be the normal upload time. Until then, take care, and thank you so much for watching. And again, thank you all for the messages, comments, vibes, and prayers. They mean everything to me right now. They really, really do.